Hey everybody, it's your girl Nail. Welcome to Simply Nail's Tiny Studio. I am in the tiny studio today doing whatever it is that I do. I'm doing several things here in the tiny studio today. If you notice, I have my plaits. My hair is drying. Some of my locks have already dried. It's been maybe about 3, 4 days since I washed them. And they're dry in a lot of places, but I still feel a dampness going on. So I am, going to, and I keep my hair plaited for about 2 weeks. That's how long I keep them plaited. And once I take the plaits down, I have the curly thing going on, which I absolutely love. I love the way the curls frame my face. They are so beautiful. I really get a kick out of them. So the longer I keep in my plaits, um, also translates to how long the curls stay. Somewhat, because if I hop in the shower and I don't cover my locks, and of course, curls leave. So that's what's going on. Here are my plaits, braids, and hopefully you got a chance to view the videos that I posted over the weekend where I went into my whole washing routine. I am in the tiny studio today taking care of a few things. One of the things that I'm doing today is I'm getting ready to transfer transfer the things or the contents of the vintage Coach bag stewardess that I've been wearing for the past 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm getting ready to empty it. As you see, it's full of stuff, and I'm going to empty it, and then I'm going to wash it with some Lexol, and then I'm going to condition it. And as you know, this is my unicorn bag, vintage Coach bag, the vintage Coach stewardess. This bag is probably about 33, 34 years of age. And then I have another bag that's probably about 40 years of age. It's in black. This is in mahogany. And I just so enjoyed carrying her. She is just such a great bag, and she is just so tough. She's cute, stylish, and tough. And those are the things that I absolutely adore in a really good bag. And of course, she's made from that glove tan leather. I am having a cup of coffee today. This is my second cup of coffee, and it is in my Grogu cup. There he is. I have Grogu. Let me see. I have a Grogu. I'm looking at Grogu right now across the tiny studio. I have a Grogu bank. I have a Grogu bank where I keep my coins in, and then I just have Grogu sitting in his little carrier. My children bought me. They know how much I love Grogu, so I have lots of things with Grogu on it. The last my oldest daughter just purchased me a one of those travel cups to put inside my truck, and it's a Grogu cup, and it is so cute. When it comes out of the dishwasher, I will come into the tiny studio and let you see it. Or maybe when I'm out on the road and I have her filled with coffee, then I will share the cup with you. But she is so cute. Grogu, I love him. I love him. Did you know that Disney just green lighted or greenlit a, a full feature film of The Mandalorian with Grogu? I think the title was The Mandalorian and Grogu. I think that's the working title. If I'm not correct, check The Hollywood Reporter or Deadline, because that's where I read the article at. So there's going to be a full movie on Grogu and the Mandalorian, and child, I am going to be buying up some merchandise, or my children are going to be gifting me Grogu, Grogu merchandise from the movie. So other than other than me drinking coffee and emptying out my purse, I received the latest edition of Vogue magazine. It has somebody on there named Sienna Miller. I don't know who that is. I don't know who she is. I don't know any of these young people. I really don't. And I hate to say it, I really don't care that much. But I guess she's having a baby. And I guess the baby is a girl. And you may be saying, you read Vogue magazine, Neil? I sure do, because I love fashion. I am a fashion girl, fashionista. So I have a subscription to Vogue, and I get Vogue on I get a digital version of Vogue magazine, and I also get the paper version in the mail. So why do I read Vogue magazine? Well, on my outside of the tiny studio, I am a journalist, and I am while I write about I've been a political journalist for maybe about excuse me, I want to say I've been a political journalist for maybe about 15 years, but during that time, I've also worked, or I've written articles about fashion, so I'm really thinking about switching over to just being a full-time fashion journalist, but I don't know yet, because I think there's so many things going on in our country today where I just can't put my pen down completely in the world of political journalism. I need to, really stick to that at least until, at least for another couple of years, and then maybe I'll switch over entirely to being a full-time fashion journalist. But from time to time, the newspaper that I write for, they want fashion journalism pieces, and so they come to me for it, and then I provide it. And I'm thinking, yeah, I think in another couple of years I might switch on over to fashion journalism, period. But I keep a good Vogue. I keep a Vogue. I love Vogue magazine. Keeps me up to date on a lot of different things. And even though I'm not too keen about Vogue's I'm not too keen on how Vogue moves when it comes to fashion journalists, fashion editors, and all of that great stuff. I'm not really down with that. I don't like the fact that there are not, there's not, and this is for the fashion industry as a whole. Representation is everything. And I'm not just talking about models being inside of Vogue magazine and on the runways. I'm talking about representation inside of the fashion industry. I'm talking about representation as far as fashion journalists, articles appearing in these type of periodicals, staff, the staff at Vogue and Vanity Fair and Glamour, all of those magazines should have fair representation of African American people, because we are the number one consumer. In my opinion, I don't have any stats on that, but basically Black people spend a lot of money on fashion because we are just a fashionable type of people. All right. Go over to Egypt and you can see that for yourself. We just love fashion. That's who we are. We love beautiful things. So if we are the number one consumer, then there should be some type of representation, and not just the fact that Pharrell has become the second African American over at Louis Vuitton. That's wonderful. However, what about the other fashion houses? We What about the fashion industry itself? We need more representation of African American and Africans across the diaspora. We need more representation. So that's what I was doing in the tiny studio before I hopped on. I was looking through the mail, and my new Vogue came. And the Vogue that I really, bow down to is the September Vogue. I have those on my coffee table in my great room. So I'm really a Vogue person. I really love Vogue magazine. Um, but I was reading something while I was perusing Vogue online, the digital version. I had read through an interview that Taraji P. Henson gave the other day, and well, I should say last week. And she was talking about um, how the message that she presented during the what do they call that? Um, During the movie junkets that she and the cast of The Color Purple, the musical, were doing this past month. Well, before Christmas and a little bit after Christmas, all of those interviews and things that she was doing, where she talked about the pay disparity for African American actresses in Hollywood, and how she got to the point where she felt like she wanted to quit, how the math wasn't mathing, how she would, she and the other black actresses would, were on set and there was no food, they all had to share one trailer, how all those things were happening, and she had to contact Oprah to, for help. So she's saying now that her message overshadowed the real deal, and the real deal was the movie. And she wants everybody to stop talking about what happened. She wants everybody to stop talking about what she said during the press junket, and to focus on the movie. And I feel her, but she's a little too late for that. I think the train already left the station where it comes to the message of her message overshadowing the picture. Because, a lot of questions, she created a lot of dialogue and a lot of questions that have not been sufficiently answered. And I want to touch on that a little bit while we're sitting here in a tiny studio. I tell you, my locks are getting longer. It's like after they reach a certain length, the way my locks work, and I guess it's the way my hair works, period, the way my hair grows. You know, I have cut all my hair off before, and it'll be a little slow. It'll come back, and it'll just be a little slow. It grows slowly, 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 slowly. But once it hit beyond my shoulder blade, then my hair is like this. It just starts to really, really grow. So my hair is at the point where it's just doing its thing, and it's really growing. And I hadn't realized how much of it, how fast it has grown, until maybe, a few weeks back. And I had just, I really looked at it, and I was like, wow, my hair is just, it's really, really, hitting its stride, and it's growing. And it's also probably due to the fact that I made a new batch of my lock moisturizer. And you remember when my hair was itchy and I told you I needed to make another some moisturizer for it? And no, that's not true. That's not true. It was when my hair was dry, and I had noticed that it was crunchy. And I told you that I was going to make something for that, right? And I made my lock moisturizer. And in this particular moisturizing formula, I use hemp instead of the coconut oil. I usually use coconut oil and vitamin E, but this time around I used hemp oil and vitamin E, and I think I added some rose water. Wasn't that it? Yes, that was it. Because the base of it was um, water, I believe. I added some rose essential oil, some hemp oil, and some vitamin E. Yes, that was it. And I think that combination with the hemp oil that really accelerated the speed of growth of my hair because it just, whoosh, it really just did its thing, which is cool. It does it. My hair does this anyway, normally, naturally, even when I didn't have locks, my hair would do this type of, go through a growth spurt. That's what I mean. It would get to a certain length and then it would just grow out of control. And I don't know, that probably has a lot to do with my heritage. Um, I am, as most African Americans are in this country, I am a mixture of what? I'm a mixture of Native American. I'm a mixture of Chinese and African. Those are my, and of course, a little Caucasian. A little bit of Caucasian. So, those things I really believe, you know, have, created my hair texture, the grade of it. And I've always been a person who has had long hair. So it's just that when it gets to a certain point, it just grows out of control really fast, really quickly. And that's what's happening now. It's just, But I'm glad it's platted up because if you recall, I told you that sometimes when my hair, gets to a certain point in length, that, oh my God, it's just like annoying. It's annoying. And I'd be like, oh my God, please get out my face. Please leave me alone here. So I am enjoying the platted up look. Yes, I am. So anyhow, I was talking about Oprah, right? Or Taraji. I was talking about Taraji. And she's saying that, what she said during her press junket, that it is overshadowing the actual movie. And I guess that is why there are reports saying that The Color Purple is a flop because it did not do the numbers. It did not do the numbers that, was projected for it. So they're calling it, people, media critics are calling it a flop. But obviously, there's something to what is being said about The Color Purple flopping because Taraji is coming out saying that what she has said about pay disparities, all the different issues she had, or the black actresses on the set had regarding certain things, obviously there's a little truth to what people are saying about, possibly her message overshadowing the entire beauty of The Color Purple, the film, The Color Purple, the musical film. I haven't seen The Color Purple just as yet, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason why I have not gone to the show to see The Color Purple as of yet is because of my own anxiety of being in places where there's a large congregation of people. And I say that because I am still getting over the massive anxiety that I had regarding during COVID. And so I'm still getting over that. Just the other day, where was I at? I went to the Salvation Army last weekend. Well, this past weekend. And for the first time, I did not have that overwhelming sense of anxiety that I had, that I've been nursing for 4 years of being around people. I had my mask, but I wasn't so, you know, overwhelmed. I still trip out when I hear people coughing, but I have on my mask. And then I wasn't feeling, dreadful or feeling some sense of dread when I took my mask off to talk to my daughter at the Salvation Army. I didn't feel that way. So I'm slowly getting over that feeling that I felt at the height of the pandemic. And it's taking me some time. So me going to the show, going to the movies a lot, I really don't do it. My family does. They love, going to the movies and things like that. And I used to love it too, but I just don't like people. I just feel like people people are just selfish. If you're sick and you have a cold or something, cover your mouth, wash your hands, use sanitizer. Don't cough into the air, cough into your elbow. All of those things that are common sense things. I feel that people have a fu attitude, and they just do what they want, and I cannot afford to be sick like that. I really don't. I really can't. And as I told you before, I came down with the flu. My friend said that I came down with COVID. But a few weeks back, and I'm still getting over it. I am still getting over what I had. And that was because of my own, you know, la- lapse in judgment on certain things. And anyhow, that's why I haven't seen The Color Purple as of yet. I hear that it's going to be, or that it's already streaming on Prime Video, so I may just go ahead and check it out on Prime and see how that goes. But other than that, I do plan to see it. However, here's the thing, and this is what I have to say about all of that. I understand how Taraji feels, that what she said is overshadowing the movie. I get it. But the questions that have gone unanswered, and the the pieces of the puzzle that are not fitting for me, and and are not fitting for a lot of people, is the Oprah factor. The Oprah factor. And what am I talking about? When Taraji said that, she really wanted the role of Chuck Avery, but she almost turned it down because of the pay. And she got in contact with Oprah, and Oprah was able to work that out. Now, that's number one. Now, remember this now, number one. And so when Oprah worked out her pay, she decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this, right? All right. According to Taraji, allegedly. So it comes from Taraji, allegedly, but I'm not Taraji. I don't know Oprah. I don't know Taraji. Anything that I say on this show, like I always say, use critical thinking skills, do your own research. And of course, I have to say this, that what I'm getting ready to get into, please note that this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not run with what I say as gospel. Do your own research. All right. And I'm now going to insert allegedly as we continue. So then Taraji said that when they came onto the set, that there was no food. And you do know that when there are rehearsals on set, there are readings, all of those things, that there is a catering service or a craft service that comes in and provide food and drink and things like that to, for the crew, the cast and crew. Taraji said they had none. So she contacted Oprah, and Oprah fixed it. Oprah made sure the craft services were on set. 2. The next thing Taraji said in her interviews is that all the ladies were sharing one trailer. So Taraji allegedly contacted Oprah, and Oprah allegedly handles that. 3. Then Taraji told us in her interviews, that it's protocol for the cast to be driven to the set for insurance purposes. But at one point, she was doing her own driving and she felt that that was a liability. So she contacted Oprah, and number 4, Oprah was able to get her a driver and also provide drivers to the rest of the cast if that is what they want for. So there are 4 things that happened on the set of The Color Purple, the musical, that Taraji says she had to go back to Oprah to straighten out. So The Color Purple, Oprah is one of the producers of The Color Purple. I think that Steven Spielberg is the other, Quincy Jones is another, but I do believe that Oprah is the primary producer, or black female producer, or of this movie, of this film. Oprah is the one that we know. She is clearly and thickly associated or attached to this project. Oprah Winfrey. When Taraji, a black woman, comes out and say that the pay wasn't right and she had to go to Oprah to fix it. There was no food and she had to go to Oprah to get it fixed. There was no driver and she had to go to Oprah to get that fixed. Inadequate trailers, or inadequate there was no trailer. There was only one trailer for all the ladies to share. When she went to Oprah and had that situation fixed. See, those are 4 different situations that occurred that Taraji told us about, allegedly occurred, that she went to Oprah and Oprah allegedly fixed. 4 different things. So the question becomes this: why did Oprah allow these conditions and situations to occur? Why were those situations present for the ladies if Oprah claims to be a so-called champion of black women? Because that is what Oprah said in another video, I believe, another interview that she did. Well, in the interview that she did with the at the Golden Globes. You have to excuse the noise because those are children outside playing. I live right behind a park and a conservation, so the children are outside playing. But you have to ask yourself, if Oprah is a producer on a movie that she calls her baby, the movie that helped launch her career, and not just as a talk show hostess, but also as an actress, you would think that she would make sure that the black actresses on set, or all the black people on set, but really all the black actresses on set, that they were treated well, and that's what you would think. You would not think that Taraji would be underpaid. You would not think that there was only one trailer for all the ladies, all the black actresses on the set of The Color Purple. You would not think that there was no food there, no water, no Kool-Aid. You would not think that, because Oprah is the champion for black women. That's what you would think. But that did not occur. And that did not occur until Taraji brought it to Oprah's attention. Now, for those who are, I like to say, who stand for Oprah, which I think standing is a problem in itself, but those who stand for Oprah say, well, Oprah, she wasn't the only producer of The Color Purple, and to lay the blame for all of the issues that happened on set that Taraji brought up allegedly, to say that it was all Oprah's fault is a stretch. There were other producers of the film. And I would say you're right. But Oprah put the label upon herself to be the champion of Black women. She was a Black actress in Hollywood. She is a Black actress in Hollywood. And before she became Oprah, she was probably making scale pay as an actress. She knows what it means to be a minority in Hollywood. She does know what that means. So to think that she would underpay her actresses, that she would put them in conditions that are unsuitable and would be unsuitable to their white counterparts, to believe that there was not even food and drink on the set before Taraji contacted Oprah about it, that's a problem. That's a real problem. So even though Oprah says, well, when Taraji contacted me, I took care of those things. But the question still remains, why were those things in effect in the first place? Where were you, Miss Champion? Miss Champion of Black women, Black actresses in Hollywood, where were you? Why didn't you make sure that the conditions on the set of The Color Purple were up to your par, were up to Oprah Winfrey par, up to her standards? Why didn't that take place? No food, no water, allegedly. I mean, only one trailer for how many stars of that movie? How many Black actresses were there on that set? You had Taraji, you had that Danielle Brooks, you had her, you had Sierra. Who else am I leaving out? Did I say Chloe Bailey? Fantasia. All of those women are sharing one trailer. Now, come on, what type of sense does that make? And that's why I say that I have questions, and I'm not the only one that feels this way. I am not the only one, and this is why what Taraji said during her media junket, this is why it has overshadowed The Color Purple. That's why, because people are wondering. Hey, Oprah, is this how you move? Is this how you move, girl? Is this what we doing? Is this what you doing? That's the reason. That's the reason why Taraji's message has overshadowed The Color Purple, and that's why a lot of critics and movie and film journalists, that's why the consensus is The Color Purple was a flop, and they lay the blame at the feet of Taraji and Oprah. That's why. Because Taraji's message took away from the magic of the film. It did, and I have to agree. I really do. I agree. Because it have us wondering. It have us wondering. What type of person? I mean, if you call yourself a champion of Black women, why would you bring a group of talented Black women together and not take care of them? I mean, I can see this film being produced entirely by white producers, because there are a lot of black films that are, you know, but The Color Purple is Oprah Winfrey's baby. So why would she not treat the actors that come onto the set to bring her baby to life on the big screen? Why wouldn't she treat this with kid gloves? Why wouldn't she treat them as if they are stars? Because they're coming together to bring something that she loved, that she holds beloved, to life. They are the stars. So why didn't she treat them with value and respect and give them the respect that they deserve, especially to our veteran stars? Who did you have on there? You had Fantasia, you had Taraji, Sierra. I know I'm missing some people. I'm sorry about that. But, and that's what makes me say, you have to stop standing for people, And I really, I'm thinking that word, standing, it has to have its origins in the song called "Stand" by Eminem back in the early 2000s, about the super fan named Stan. And people today really, really stand for celebrities, and we put them on this pedestal, right? And then they become like the Bee Gees said in a interview years ago. When you start really pumping people up and you start placing them on pedestals and making them seem like almost godlike, and what happens is that these stars begin to believe their own press. They really do begin to believe, like the Bee Gees said, that they have a message from God, and that what they have to say is so dang important, that the way that they present their art is just so important. And it has to be out here, and it has to be heard. And they really begin to believe that they are, who critics and their fans alike say that they are. They become that person, that entity. But then they start to forget who put them there. They begin to forget about their past and how hard they had to work to make it to the pinnacle of whatever area of success that they have achieved it in. They forget that, and so they begin to treat people as if they are, expendable. They start losing their emotional, and they start losing the empathy for other people, because it becomes just about them. Or they lose their humanity because they're now in a bubble, and their whole world has become insular. So they only think about themselves. And everybody outside of the bubble doesn't exist. And if they do, they don't matter. So when they sit back and they F up, instead of us calling them out on it, we're standing, and we're just rolling along with it. We're like, oh, so what? So what? So what? They did this. So what? They're still good. They can still sing, dance, act, and tap. Excuse me. Do people tap dance anymore? I don't know. But that's what we do. We stand. And I really think this became a phenomena, when social media became a true driving force in the entertainment industry. I really think that's when the standing stuff really took place. Really just became such a huge thing, because now these stars, you can't criticize them at all. You can't say anything negative if a star is doing something, that's really shitty or whatever. I mean, you can't even call them out on it, or their stands are going to come out of the woodwork and try to attack you. I mean, these people aren't perfect. All they do is sing, dance, act, tap, rap. That's all they do. They're not perfect individuals. And if they have reached a certain point of success and they F up, you should be able to say something about it, because you were the one that placed them in that position, right? Yes, they should be accountable to their fans. So the same thing with Oprah. I love Oprah. Okay? I love Oprah. Oprah, that was my girl. I've been following Oprah since the mid-'80s, since her first TV show. Not her first TV show, because that was back in Baltimore. I lived in Detroit. But when her show went syndicated, I watched it every day, faithfully, for years. Any project she put out, I plopped down my coins. Any book that she said was good, I plopped down my coins. Well, okay, I'll take that back. Some books. Because other books, I was like, I'm not reading that. If it was a book by an African-American author, I read it. Everybody else, I really didn't get into. But still, Oprah has her flaws. Oprah sometimes F up. And it's okay to say that she effed up. And it's okay, Black people, Black women, to say that Oprah got it wrong. And it's okay to say that Oprah effed up when it came to making sure Taraji was paid. And if Taraji is talking about her pay sucked, I can just tell you right now that all the other actresses, if they were their own advocate, I'm sure they didn't get paid what they probably deserved to be paid to. But Taraji felt like, with her resume, with her CV, that she should be commanding a certain pay rate. But I'm sure those other actresses, they got whatever they got. I'm sure none of them called Oprah to tell Oprah that they were all stuffed into one trailer. No, Taraji did that. I'm sure none of them called Oprah to say, we don't have any food to eat here on set. But it was Taraji who went to Oprah and said, we don't have any food on set. No water, no drink. And that's the issue. That's a problem. Because what that shows you is that, there's a flaw in Oprah's character. And I understand that Hollywood is a business. Hollywood is a business. Hollywood is about the bottom line, honey. And the bottom line is selling those tickets, getting those butts in the seats, so we can come up with a profit at the end, so we can, number one, recoup our money. Recoup the money that we invested, and number two, come out with a nice substantial profit, so we can go ahead and continue to buy our football long size yachts. That's what America is about. We live in a capitalistic society, right? So Oprah and all the rest of the people who are the executives, or were the executives on The Color Purple, that's what everybody's looking for. We looking for that investment. Yes, we're looking for, putting out a great a great product. Yes, we are. But we looking to recoup some money and we looking to get paid. And Oprah, she is just like hey, she's a businesswoman too. She's a businesswoman. So if you know how it goes in business, if you don't, what did my grandmother say? Closed mouths don't get fed. And so if you are afraid, if you and listen, if you want to continue to work in Hollywood, and in the music industry, you can't go around complaining all the time, can you? So I'm sure that's probably why a lot of those ladies didn't say anything. Okay, and that's why they are probably really truly grateful to Taraji for speaking up, because they already know we better shut our traps, keep our mouth shut. When we come on set, pack a lunch and a Three Musketeers bar and keep it moving, right? We're just happy to be here. But no one wants to call Oprah out on that because everyone is afraid. Everyone is a stand. Stop standing for people. When your favorite celebrity or athlete or whatever, when they decide that they're gonna F up, call them out on that mess. Because they're not better than us. They are not. We just put them there. We put them high up like that. But we have to be able to call them out on their shit. And Oprah has to be called out on her shit. Plain and simple. And unfortunately for Taraji, there may be some serious consequences that she's going to have to pay for this whole situation. I don't know why she felt it necessary in that moment during her press junket to disclose all of the information that she did, but maybe it's time. Maybe that was the universe's way of getting certain information out there so that everyone can know it. Maybe this was cathartic for everybody, that the truth come out, or that the truth came out and exposed certain things, because it really did expose Oprah Winfrey. The so-called champion of black women is what she called herself. That's why you have to think about people. I support people, if they have something good going on and I feel like it can help my life in some type of way, I don't mind plopping down some coins on it. I really don't. Like, I'm wearing this shirt right now. It says strong, black, educated, blessed woman, right? And I purchased it from a sister on Instagram, and she had her own little online boutique or something like that. And I bought this from her. Actually, when I buy things, as you already know, I buy it in multiples. So I bought about four different tops from her, because if I like something from you and you're a sister, I will buy from you. I don't mind plopping down the coins for that, because I'm an entrepreneur myself. So I don't mind doing that. I will most definitely support you. However, what I won't support is I will not support you when you F up. I don't do things like that. I don't support you. I feel the same way, and I've always been like this. Even when I felt like Michael Jackson had, and I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. I'm a super Michael Jackson fan. But there are some points in Michael Jackson's career that were problematic for me. Like, I did not like, after Thriller, I did not like Bad. I didn't like the song. I didn't like the video. I didn't like it. I just felt that for me, as a black woman, I felt that Michael Jackson was starting to lose some of his culture in pursuit of what it was that he wanted. And what he wanted, wanted to reach the pinnacle, the top of the pop world. Okay? I cannot begrudge him that. I do not begrudge him that, because that was his dream. That was his goal. And guess what? He made it. All right? But I could look back as a fan with a critical eye and say, I did not like that. I did not like Michael Jackson, my baby, posing as some type of, some type of rebel on the cover of his album. Talking about he bad. Mike, you not bad. Who's bad? Not you, Mike. Not you. You my baby. What are you trying to prove? And that's how I felt. That's exactly how I felt. So, needless to say, I didn't plop down any money for that. No, I didn't buy bad. I did not. The next album I bought was what was the name of that album? Dang it. It was on the tip of my tongue too. The album that Remember the Time is on. I can't believe I forgot the name of that album. Dangerous. I bought the Dangerous album. I did because I like several songs on there. Yeah, I liked about 4 or 5 songs on the Dangerous album. And it felt like he was coming back into himself a little bit. And so I bought it. Liked it. Enjoyed it. But then when there were accusations flying about Mike and things was going on, I didn't sit back and say, oh, that's not true. Mike will never do anything like that. No, that wasn't me. I listened. I waited, and I kept my mouth shut until I was able to get the evidence for myself, and then I moved on. That's what I did, because I'm not a stan. If you F up around me, I'm going to be looking at you side-eyed or cross-eyed. That's going to be me, because nobody is too good to get it in my book. Nobody is too good. I don't care how much money you have. Nobody is too good to get to get my mouth to avoid me criticizing you. For it, nobody is too good. Nobody is above getting it, because I believe that we're all here on this planet to do certain things. And if we do not succeed on that road or that path, then we have to be called out to the carpet about it. Because if we're not, how else do we grow? How else are we able to move on in our purpose if there are not people along the way to bring to our attention the areas that we need to improve in? So that's why I say anybody can get it. I don't care who you are. Anybody can get it. Anybody can be criticized. I don't care if you sing, if you dance, if you act, if you rap, or if you tap dance. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care, because I feel like this. If I have bought into your dream, and I have helped you to become the person that you are and achieve the success level that you desired, then I should also be the same person to say to you, you have effed up. And I feel that Oprah effed up, and she needs to be called out. So she was called out here in the Tiny Studio. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This has been a long video. Coffee and conversation here in the Tiny Studio. Thank you for, just spending time with me here in the Tiny Studio. I'm going to make a commitment to you to drop at least 2 videos a week. I am, as I said before, I'm a grad student, so it's been kind of difficult with studies and everything to really pump out the videos like I would want to. But when I have a little bit of time, I'm going to make sure that I pop into the Tiny Studio and invite you in, and we can hang out. I have some interesting things coming up as far as crocheting that I would like to talk to you about. So if you're a crocheter or beginner crocheter, then we can really get to talking about that as well. In a Tiny Studio very, very soon. However, thank you so much. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. And please hit that like button so that the YouTube algorithm will be able to place you in my, it place me in your feed whenever I have a video that's about to premiere, or whenever I have a video that is being made public. Thank you, and I love you. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please go ahead and drop it into the comment section and let's talk about it. All right, then, I'm going to finish up my coffee and I will talk to you soon. Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting the channel. Love you. Bye bye.